What if I told you that a trade war could shake the global economy? And the US might not come out on top. Imagine this. The European Union, Canada, and Mexico join forces against the US in a massive trade battle. Exports are cut off, tariffs skyrocket, supply chains collapse. The question is, who would survive? And more importantly, who would win? Let's break it all down. Why would a trade war happen? Trade wars don't happen overnight. They usually start with tariffs, sanctions, or political tensions. The US has already had trade disputes with China, the EU, and even Canada and Mexico in the past. But what if this time, the EU, Canada, and Mexico decided to team up against the US? The results could be disastrous for American businesses. How this would hurt the US. The US depends on Canada and Mexico for over $1.5 trillion in annual trade. If these two countries cut ties and side with the EU, America would feel the impact almost immediately. Key problems for the US: lost access to Canada and Mexico, factories would shut down, jobs would disappear, and businesses would scramble to find new buyers. Manufacturing chaos. Companies like Ford and GM rely on Mexico for cheap labor and parts. No Mexico, no affordable cars. Agriculture collapse. Mexico is the #1 buyer of US corn and beef. If they switch to Brazil and Argentina, US farmers will suffer huge losses. Energy crisis. The US sells oil and gas to Canada. If Canada starts importing from the EU or Middle East instead, American energy companies take a huge hit. How the EU, Canada, and Mexico would benefit. While the US struggles, the EU, Canada, and Mexico would thrive with new trade deals. EU gains, new markets, luxury goods, cars, and pharmaceuticals flood into Canada and Mexico, replacing American products. Canada boosts energy sales to Europe. Instead of buying US oil, Canada sends it to Germany, France, and Italy. Mexico strengthens Latin American ties. More trade with Brazil and Argentina makes Mexico even stronger. Can the US fight back? Of course, the US wouldn't just sit back and take the hit. Here's how they could fight back. 1. Shift trade to Asia, more exports to China, India, and Southeast Asia. 2. Increase domestic manufacturing. But this would take years and cost billions. 3. Economic and military pressure, sanctions, diplomatic deals, and even military influence to force better trade conditions. Who would win? The battle lines are drawn. On one side, the United States, an economic superpower wounded but not defeated. On the other, a new alliance, Europe, Canada, and Mexico, reshaping global trade and leaving America out in the cold. If this trade war lasts, the US faces a crisis like never before: rising unemployment, businesses collapsing, and a desperate scramble to find new markets. But don't count America out just yet. The US has faced economic warfare before, from the Great Depression to the Cold War, and emerged stronger. Could this be the wake-up call that forces the US to rebuild its industries, break its reliance on foreign supply chains, and reclaim its dominance? Or would this be the moment the world sees the fall of an empire? The question isn't just who would win, it's whether the world is ready for the consequences of a trade war this big. Please like and subscribe. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into global trade, economics, and power struggles. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.